Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 11 of The Walking Dead Season 5 called The Distance. I know I'm a little late with this review. Unfortunately, even though I'd only had it for a couple of weeks, last week my cable box went south on me. The cable guy had to end up bringing me a new one, and this problem manifested itself Sunday evening. So, yeah, some seriously bad timing on that one for me. But c'est la vie, right? So anyway, I'm all caught up on the show, and let's just talk about this episode. And this is an all right episode, but this episode is good in basically showing just how Rick is really dancing on the edge here of, as we've seen before, becoming just as bad as some of the people who he's previously crossed swords with, like Gareth and the Governor. Now, okay, I guess saying on the edge is maybe a little much, but Rick has taken wanting to keep the group safe into just flat out paranoia, and even going beyond that to the point where he's actually putting them in danger in trying to keep them safe. Now, okay, being suspicious of Aaron, not unreasonable, that's just caution. And I can't even fault Rick too awful much for punching the dude. Aaron says to him, we get stronger the more people we have. Now, Aaron doesn't realize it, but that's basically almost word for word something that Gareth said to him. And we all know how Rick feels about Gareth. So Rick kind of flipped the hell out there. To his credit, though, Aaron doesn't hold that against him. So, again, another point in his favor. But what we see in this episode really harkens back to, I suppose it was end of season 2, where Rick sort of makes that speech about how, if you want me to be your leader, this isn't going to be a democracy. And I even saw on TV Trope somebody was calling it the Rick-tatorship. And that's a pretty apt description of the whole situation. Rick just flat out refuses to listen to anybody. Well, for the vast majority of this episode, he is not willing to give even the tiniest inch, even when his most trusted advisors are saying, Rick, back down a little bit, okay? And of course, this almost leads into disaster. Now, look, I can't fault Rick for wanting to take an alternate route than the one that Aaron was saying. While Rick's paranoia was getting a little excessive, he did make a good point. That a roadside ambush, that's something that was a believable possibility. Now, granted, up until this point, Aaron has gone through a lot of things to give them every reason that his intentions are good. But I can grant Rick that one as being a reasonable choice just to play it safe. But the idea of driving through territory they don't know at night is just dumb. Because they know, they've seen it, that roads are places where walkers tend to congregate. And, man, have you ever driven at night through a rural area? Because I have. And, man, you cannot see a goddamn thing that is outside of your headlights. And then they come on this horde of walkers, and rather than just say like, "Oh crap, turn around and get the hell out of there," they plow right through it. And I guess the car's windshield wipers were broken or got broken when a walker hit it. Because I love it, like they get out and they're starting to just scrape it all off with their hands. I guess nobody's worried about bloodborne walker infection. And yeah, I mean, Rick was he was just being stupid at that point. Now, another point in this episode's favor is I did like that little speech Rick gave about, Woodbury and Terminus, about how, you never heard any children or anything like that. When you came up to those places, it was completely silent. There were no human sounds in those places. And it's those things, hearing those things, conveniently, there were some children playing within earshot when he rolled up to the gates. Then we mysteriously never see those children when they actually go inside, even though it's just minutes later. So the children apparently are just off screen and show no inclination to come forth and get a closer look at the visitors. But that's next episode stuff. So yeah. And one thing that really kind of bugged me this episode that nobody ever bothers to point out is that it's Aaron's clothes. Aaron's clothes are remarkably clean and well kept. And Aaron himself is very, he's very clean. He's obviously well fed. He's clearly not been suffering. So whatever or wherever Aaron comes from is obviously a place that has resources, and probably a significant amount of resources, in order to keep somebody looking like that in freaking the freaking zombie apocalypse. And nobody notes this. And this is it's just such an obvious thing that you'd think people would pick up on. I mean, Aaron is even even really cleanly shaven. Now you could always say like, well, okay, maybe he's one of those guys that just has a baby face. Okay, maybe, but still, let's assume that he's not. That means he's able to, shave properly on a regular basis, which again puts him one up on basically everybody in Rick's group, especially Rick and the beard of ridiculousness. Now, as dumb as that whole situation was, and Rick getting into the scene on the road was cool. Being chased by the walkers through the cornfield at night, very intense, very scary. And I definitely did like that we are introduced to Aaron and Eric, who are two gay guys, and no one makes even the slightest remark on the fact that these guys are gay. And of course, in the zombie apocalypse, who the hell cares? All you care about is whether or not this person is an enemy or if they can help you to survive. But still, this is kind of one of those things that fans have been asking about for a while. Like, well, when are you going to have anybody who was gay on the show? Oh, wait, there's Tara. She's been on the show for a while now. They just tend not to mention her being a lesbian very often. But, okay, whatever. I did like that scene between Aaron and Eric, and it was very real, very genuine. And it's certainly nice just to see people being nice to each other again, being happy to be in each other's company. It's nice to see genuine love on this show. Because, love tends to get you killed on The Walking Dead. Oh boy. Just thinking about some of the stuff that's coming down the line in the comics. Oh, how you are gonna howl. And, yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I have to add about this episode. Just, now we're heading to the Alexandria Safe Zone, which is a major place in the comics. And honestly, when they arrive there in the comics, I think that I've really enjoyed the stories that have been set at the Alexandria Safe Zone since they started telling those. In fact, it's, I think, probably really significantly improved the story in the comics to me. And I'm not 100% caught up, but I've basically read up until the most recent collection. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I have time for right now. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Who's Your Jedi. Till next time, take care and have a good